Maui, and I want to wish you namaste. I've had a very interesting history, and that was a box I was in. And then I met Tim Leary, a fellow member of our faculty at Harvard. And he gave me psychedelics, mushrooms. And it was, he and Allen Ginsberg and I took at his house. And after a little while, I was getting tired of the social part of it. And I went into the living room, a dark room, and I sat on the couch and I thought there was somebody in the corner. And I looked and looked, and in front of the image was me. And I kept looking at it. It kept changing role of cellist, role of professor. All these roles keep changing. And then I said, well, I guess I can get rid of those if they were over there and I'm here. I don't need those roles if that's what this is going to do to me. And I looked down, and instead of, there was a whole couch, but there was nobody on it. And I said, well, I don't think I can do with my body. I can do without my body. And I was going to call Tim, and I thought, well, who's going to call Tim? The feeling that here I'm home now in my body, and I was home in my heart. And I kept going, I'm home, I'm home, I'm home. And I went out, it was snowing and rolling the snow, and my parents were living in nearby, and I trudged through the snow, and I got the shovel out of the garage to shovel their walk. And I was shoveling their walk and feeling very good in my heart that I was the young buck, they were old people. I was really romanticizing the thing. And I looked up, and they were looking very disgusted with me from their window. They were disgusted because it was 4 a.m. And people don't shovel snow in the 4 a.m. And but I started shoveling, and that was the first time in my life, that I was doing something which authorities were putting down. It was the first time that I was inside. I danced a jig, and that was my introduction to psychedelics. Many trips ahead. One day, we got the the Tibetan Book of the Dead, and I had taken psychedelics one Saturday, and he gave it to us on Tuesday. I thought it was sounding like that session I had just been in, and I thought the East knew more about what we were doing than we did. And so I thought I'd go to India to get people who understood the map of consciousness. And I went there, a Buddhist, very anal Buddhist. And I was traveling with somebody who said, I have to go to his guru. He had a Hindu guru. And I wasn't very turned on by Hindu. Too many gods and too much loudspeakers in the temples and calendar art. But he made me go. And we went up in the mountains in the Himalayas. And finally, he went up this hill to see what the guru was like. And it was a man in a blanket sitting on a table, and he around him on the grass. And he stopped what he was talking about, and he pointed at me and said, he said, Hindi. And there was somebody there that translated, and he says you came in a big car, and I said, yes, I did come in a big car. And he said, excellent. He said, you would give it to me? I can't think, oh God, this is, the gurus, they get you all the way. He said, you were thinking about your mother last night, and I've been 20 miles away, and I had been thinking about my mother, and she would just died. I was afraid he was going to read my mind, all the things I can't tell people. And I looked down, and I thought all those things I don't tell people. I listed them. I thought that he could know all that. And I raised my head. He was there, about there. I just looked at him, and he was looking with unconditional love, just total love. And it was the kind of love I've never in my life experienced. Unconditional love. All of those things in my mind, none of them matter. He just loved me. And I realized the telling me about my mother was just sort of getting me softened up. And the love really was digging deep and was with me, making me centered in my heart, getting me out of my head. When I started to feel my heart, I said I was home again. The fellow that I was with told him that I was connected with psychedelics. And he said to me, "You got some medicine?" I thought, you got head medicine? I thought he meant aspirin or something. I said, "Oh, gee, I'm sorry, I don't have it." And he said, don't have any of that healing medicine. And I understood finally what it meant. And I brought up some pills that were specially made for me. I'm 6'2", and I'm 200 pounds. And they were strong pills. And I held my hand out, and he took one. And I started to think, oh, he's an old man. He shouldn't. That's terrible. And I thought, well, I'm a social scientist. I'll keep my cool, and I'll just watch what happens. So he took 3 of these pills, and he put them in his mouth. He didn't put them in the mouth. So he couldn't tell whether he's put them in his mouth or he threw them over his shoulder. And nothing happened. Nothing happened. They were 300 milligrams. Nothing happened. When I went back to Barrett, I telling everybody I gave this pills, and nothing happened to this. And he said they were used, yogis long ago, and the yogis did hatha yoga first. They were like soap. These plants. So the second time, years later, I came to him, and he said, the first thing he said was, "Did you get me some medicine last time?" All the time I was, in the years in America, kept thinking, did he throw them, or did he throw them? I did not get any reaction. And he knew that I had been thinking that. And he said, "Get more of those." And I gave him some. In front of him, he put the pills in his mouth so I wouldn't miss it. And nothing happened. Nothing happened. And I've been, the way I figured it, my trip was, I was a psychologist, and there was nobody reason that I would go to see Maharaji, my guru, Neem Karoli. I wouldn't go near India because I was a Western psychologist. Then I took psychedelics. Psychedelics opened me, opened my heart, and then I would go to here to